Thinker Television, brought to you by Sportsman's Warehouse, America's premier outfitter, Peterson Toyota and Toyota Trucks, moving forward. Coldwell Banker, every day until it's sold. St. Croix Rod, best rods on earth. Evinrude, spend more time on the water. Good morning. Welcome to Fishful Thinker. I'm Chad LaChance. We appreciate you joining us. You'll know right away this is a big group for a Fishful Thinker show, but we've got a really good show lined up for you today. It's going to be good fun. We're here with all the guys from Minturn Anglers, and we're going to float the Roaring Fork River. It's March, it's cold, it's snowy, and this is going to be good fun. Right here's our guest on the show, Scott Thompson. Scott, this guy's a guide with Minturn. What do you expect out of the day?
I would expect that the fish are going to be eating big stuff, be it flies for me, tackle for you. There's not a lot of bugs coming off the water right now, so they're very opportunistic. They're taking whatever's available. We might have a good midge hatch. If that happens, hold on.
There you go. That sounds like fun. Right here's our fearless leader, Bob. Bob's going to be rowing the boat that I'm in. What do you expect out of that? I know you were here recently. What do you think we're going to run into?
The fishing's been really great, so you know, I'm looking forward to seeing your technique.
Yeah.
I see Scott's technique a lot. So you know, there's fish to be had here. It's a world famous river. It's one of my favorites, and I'm looking forward to showing it to you.
Should be great. Right here we've got Alex and Matt. Those are the partners that run the shop at Minturn Anglers, the guide outfit and all that. They put all this together. This is going to be a fun show, so you guys stay tuned. Stay comfortable. Now you guys can see right off the bat that we haven't even left our launch area, and our fearless leader, Scott.
Fearless?
I don't know about fearless, or even leader for that matter, but
well, it would be a good way to describe me.
But you're in charge of enthusiasm, I thought is what we decided.
What I was doing, Chad, was the fish, it takes a lot of energy for them out in the middle of the current.
Yeah.
So I was fishing the edges,
Sure.
and in this cold water, they want to expend as little energy as possible, so I just worked this edge. I missed one right here, and then this feels like an okay fish.
Well, he's got your string pulled. That's a good sign.
Oh,
Every
it's
fish
a
that
whitey.
pulls
It's a whitey.
Is it? No,
Yeah.
no, I want to come look at this because I don't think as many people are familiar with these, and myself included. So I'm going to come over here and we're going to talk about this little fish a little bit. Now, I've never personally even seen a whitefish.
You're
So
about to.
that's a pretty good way to get us started right off the bat. It may not be the species we were first thinking about, but I was promised we'd catch a whitefish, and sure enough, we've caught one. Look at that thing. It looks like a cross between a sucker and a carp and a bonefish.
Yeah.
Huh.
They're
Now, how big do they get?
I believe the world record is what, 6 to 7 pounds, Bob? Is that right?
I think it's over 7, and it comes from here,
Yeah.
Huh.
This is.
from what I understand.
That's
Well, there you
probably a little above average for this river.
There you go. Nice. We'll let him go. That's a good start. That's beautiful. Nicely done, man.
Thanks, man.
We haven't even pushed the boat off, guys. We literally haven't even pushed it. We got the boat sitting right here, another one right there. We haven't even started our float yet. And of course, I've always been an advocate that you fish, you know, people want to leave the boat ramp and go run to the crazy places, but there's a lot of times fish right where the boats are. So it's a good way to get started.
Sweet.
Nice. Let's go swim and go for a float. One of the things I like about a spot like that, fish can totally relax, and look at all the stuff that funnels to the surface right there. You would think that that would be a good... Foam is home, is that what you said? Foam is home. I like the sound of that. Get
Oh,
it?
that was
No?
fish.
And you're just watching that bobber for all it's worth. I mean, realistically, that's the whole shoot match for you, right?
Yeah, I'm looking for either a pause or an outright movement.
Gotcha.
Sometimes in cold water, they'll just open their mouth and suck it in and it'll pause. And other times they'll smash it. So either way, I'm gonna set the hook.
All right. The key thing I think a lot of people miss when they go to spin fish a river is line control is as important with a spinning rod or more, or as much anyway, as it is with a fly rod. And I think if you're used to fishing in still water, gaining that line control in a hurry, making accurate casts and then gaining your line control in a hurry is the way to catch fish.
Oh, he smashed it.
Did you get him?
Oh!
Nice, nice.
He crushed it. And he's only little one.
That's all right, we don't care. I never met a fish I didn't like.
This fly, we call it the tennis ball because it's a huge egg pattern, and it looks like it was made by Spalding.
Is that Spalding? Yeah.
Yeah, it's just huge.
Is that like the one I tied last night?
Yeah, that's like the one you tied last night. For some reason, the bigger the better. Our theory is, and I think it's correct, is that the brown trout eggs from last fall are hatching up out of the substrate.
Right.
The little zygotes. And this imitates that little zygote.
Well, that seems reasonable to me. For whatever reason, it worked. I've never got too hung up. It's all right. I've never got too hung up on what my stuff's supposed to imitate as much as it looks edible. The one serious disadvantage of fly tackle or spinning tackle to fly tackle is they will tune into my presentation. You can sit and beat the same hole up for hours, and as long as you're drifting natural through there, you're not going to bother them. They might tune into my stuff pretty quick and be like, no, that ain't right.
Why do you think that is?
Well, I think because I get a lot of bites that aren't feeding bites. They're reaction type bites. The fish is sitting there, or they're irritant type bites, and they'll just tune out. They'll just literally tune it out. They'll let it go right by them and not even bother them. Whereas yours, 9 out of 10 times they don't even notice it came through there. The time they do notice it, they'll bite it.
So it's like hanging around somebody that's annoying. If they just keep annoying you, eventually you're just gonna
punch them in their
stop
nose.
playing the game.
Yeah, well, yeah, and you know, at first, fish doesn't have, this isn't MMA.
That's fish.
There he goes. They are on that thing, huh?
That's, oh, nice bow. Oh, it's a brown?
Yeah, he looks like he's good there. Let's take a look at this fish. Now, that's a really pretty bow. And I'm gonna sit down because if that rod unloads, I'm gonna wear it in the forehead. So I'm gonna sit down here. I know how that works. Since I'm a guide too, I know how that works. If you need a hand, holler, otherwise I'm gonna sit here. Holy smokes, guys. Now we're just getting rolling. I mean, we're literally a couple hundred yards from where we started. Nice, look at him go.
Touchdown.
Nice. I'd give you a high five, but we're too far.
Nice.
Holy smokes, that's a nice one. Now, do you find it guiding? Ooh, that's a pretty fish right there, guys, right off the bat.
God couldn't have created a more.
Played.
Oh, thanks, man.
So as we're going downstream here, you know, a lot of this stuff you're skipping as a fly guy because you're really concentrating on the deepest water. We think that's the deal. But I'm going to try to snap a bait through here. Do you think is it a total waste of time or?
This transitional water, the rainbows have just recently moved into it. So you have a great chance of hooking a nice fish. I'm not throwing because I have enough weight where I feel like I'll lose a rig in here.
Right, and then we get to the next spot and you won't be ready to fish.
Right, and you've got really high-tech, what is that kind of line you're using?
I've got Fireline Tracer Braid. It's multicolor so I can see it on the surface of the water. It's very thin, so it's real easy to play with and throw and cast. Has no memory to it at all, and it's extremely strong. So that helps a lot, you know, and for me, it's more about getting my baits back, being efficient, and I'm really easy, there's a good spot. I'm really easy on fish because I can land them quick. Oh, that could have been a bite. It could have been a rock. I didn't have a good feel on it. Did you see that one chase it up right there? I just got chased up. That's a good sign. If the fish will chase it, then I know I can get the bait to work faster. So I think what's going to end up being the deal is I'm going to have to work tip down so the bait stays tighter to the bottom, but still quickly. Or I'm going to have to put a bigger jig head on, one or the other. And I don't like the bigger jig head because I'll snag more.
You know, as a fly fisherman, really all you're doing is streamer fishing with a spin rod. It's just exactly what we do with fly rod.
That's exactly what I've tried to learn my spin skills from. Fish? No?
No. Rock.
All right.
There you go, see the chance.
Finally here, I've been getting Scott here, been pretty much giving me a lesson. And it's a lesson I'm happy to get. I'm gonna go ahead and bring him in here quick. And we tend to land fish a little bit greener than a lot of the fly guys do, and that's just because we can, really. The tackle's just heavy enough to do it. And but at any rate, so we've got a green one in the boat that Bob's gonna handle nicely with a barbless jig for us. But I've been getting soundly schooled. I ain't lying to you. This guy's been schooling me with this fly back here, and I love it. It's a great thing for me to see. I'll let you handle the fish since you're doing a fine job with it. But at any rate, so I just played with my jig presentations. Everything he's been getting bites of has been tight to the bottom. Beautiful brown. Love that little patch of blue right behind his eye right there. Beautiful, beautiful fish. Thanks, Bob, for holding that up. And you know, that's exactly what we're looking for is that. And typically with the jig for me, it's about finding the right cadence, the weight of the jig, the color of the jig, and the cadence I need to work it. Scott's been getting all these fish tight to the bottom, and they've been biting this pattern's great. Finally got a jig that I can work just fast enough to keep it from hanging the rocks, keep it tight to the bottom, and got her done. Well done. Oh yeah, we'll catch one right here. Oh, there he's right there, right on command.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's exactly, I love that feeling. You cannot beat that feeling right there.
Oh, that is awesome.
That one is ticked off too. You just get that you know it. You just know it as an angler, like you're gonna get bit. Come on around here, drop your rod tip if you would, and I'm gonna come over the top, bud. Scott,
Gotcha.
There you go. There we go, thank you. Nice, that worked really good. I'd rather he would have stayed on that side, but we're gonna go ahead and bring him in, and you can net him right there.
Right, yeah.
Nice.
Smash that thing.
That's a beautiful brownie too. How nice is that? I mean, you know, it's so funny. You just get that feeling as an angler. You know, you're like, that's a spot that's gonna get bit. Thank you very much.
Yo, your eyes lit up right before that fish took.
I just knew it. It just felt like one of those spots. Beautiful brown right there. No worse for the wear. Woo! Love it. See you, buddy. That's, you know, the same thing. Jig right on the bottom, just paying attention to what we learned at the last hole and just letting it work its way through there. Real distinct
were you
bite.
going pretty slow?
Yeah, just fast enough to keep it floating because the jig will actually sink into the rocks and stop.
Right.
So I just give it a little lift, just enough to keep it drifting downstream, just a little tick on it. Hopefully on today's show, you've seen the importance of choosing the right fishing rod to match your application. But beyond length, power, and action, angler has another decision to make when choosing a fishing rod, and that is how many pieces is that fishing rod made out of. St. Croix Rods has a variety of options to match whatever your application needs to be. My favorite choice, and certainly for fishing out of a boat, is a one-piece rod like this St. Croix right here. Single-piece rods I feel like are a little bit more sensitive, they're also a little bit more durable, and I think they generally provide better castability. Another option is a two-piece rod. You can see this rod's got a ferrule right here in the middle. If you drive a smaller car or you're not fishing out of a boat or potentially you're gonna do a little traveling with your rod, a two-piece rod is an excellent all-around choice. If you're gonna do some serious traveling, St. Croix offers a multi-piece rod like this rod right here. It's available in up to 4 or even 5 sections, so it'll break all the way down and it'll fit in your luggage potentially if you're gonna go on an airplane or maybe you're gonna backpack into the backcountry. If you consider how many pieces your rod is made out of as a key decision factor, you'll catch more fish. He said a few minutes ago he's going to throw down the gauntlet. We got in this skinny water and now he's got a fish going the wrong way. Nice. That bobber literally went upstream about 6 inches in a hurry. Like I was watching your bobber, he wanted it.
That means he ate the egg. No question. I haven't even seen it, but I'm sure he hit the egg.
Well, that's kind of neat because with you throwing 3 flies at once, and I don't feel too bad about me having 4 rods with different baits because you got 3 different flies on in one shot. So what'd you get?
Looks like a brownie.
It's a rainbow.
I think it's a bobo.
Yeah, it's a bow.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
Go to the other
swing
side of the
around
boat. Go to the other side of the boat.
Swing around on the other side over there so we can get a look at him now. There's not, you kind of talk about feeling helpless. Standing here in the back of the boat here, and our fine guide Scott, or Bob, excuse me, is going to assist Scott with this fish. And we'll see what he goes. Now, while he's dealing with that, just so folks are aware, that thing on your face is for sun. Is that correct?
I am not wanted by the law.
You're not wanted by the law, but you're wearing that because you spend so much time in the river that you need to do it, and I think that makes good sense. And you're not shy about getting in the water, I've noticed.
I like water, Chad.
Yeah, apparently, because you're not shy about jumping out of the boat. Now, that's another beautiful bow. Oh, see, now you're up to the end of your line. Is that the whole deal? So you can't even reel them any closer. Nicely done. Is that the gauntlet you were talking about?
What? Yeah, that was the gauntlet.
Oh, that's a pretty one. Can I hold him?
Sure.
Hey, you mind if I hold your fish, Scott?
Not at all.
Can I kiss her too?
Have a good time.
Nice. Look at that thing.
Nice toad.
Nice.
Roaring,
That's a
roaring fork.
roaring fork fish right there. Great colors on it. Looks beautiful. Can I put her back?
Absolutely.
Let's drop her in here gracefully. See you, baby. Nice. Good job jumping out of the boat. That's impressive. Good job you getting her done. Now, fourth species of the day, and in the fast shallow water, which we haven't done a lot of good in. So that goes to show you got a 3-fly rig, so you got 3 chances to get them to bite.
Took a size 22 midge.
A size 22 midge that time. Okay, good. So we've caught fish on everything from 6-inch long jerk baits to size 22 midges in the winter. It's awesome. And I would have called it.
Oh yeah, I do it every day.
Been looking. Yeah, that's a good looking spot. That's 2 and 2 casts right there. Another nice brown. And you can see he's got that single hook right in the corner of the mouth.
Great catch.
Excellent. 2 and 2 casts right there. You got one too? Oh, that's a toad. Look at this thing.
Holy Moses.
Oh, nice.
That's a fish,
Look at
Scott,
the size of this one. Oh, man, that is a big old rainbow. That's a big rainbow right there.
Nice job, Scott.
He's going to be a while, so I'm going to work on another
Ate the
double.
egg.
Nice. When he came up and jumped right there, Bob, I could not believe it. Oh, he's going to come to the boat easy, too. Maybe. Outstanding. That is nice.
All right, Bobby, he's ready.
Right there. Oh, that's a nice one. Let me put my plug down. I got to check this thing out. What you got there? Big old rainbow. Nicely done. Oh. Our expert guide, Bob. Bob, what do you think of that?
That's a toad.
Oh,
that's the roaring fork for you right there.
That's a nice one right there. Holy smokes.
That's the roaring fork.
Yeah, put her back. Don't keep her out. That is a great looking trout. I guess that's why folks come and fish with Minturn anglers, huh?
It's a beautiful fish.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and catch one right here. I feel good about it. Now here's the deal.
Speaking of fishing.
Bob told me that the roots over there were the deal. So I'm gonna make a long, accurate throw over by the roots, pull the bait gently so it doesn't foul, and then I'm gonna swim it across the current right here, and we're gonna see if somebody will load it. Boom! Just like that. That's the mark of a good fishing guide, because he knows
Dude, what are you
where
doing?
the fish live. All I gotta do is throw where he tells me. It's not rocket science. I just gotta throw where he tells me to throw it. Now, you called that when I told him he'd have a spiff on how many of them he could call, and he told me those roots over there would give us what we needed. And I'm coming around the opposite side of you again. Rod tip, please. There you go. We'll bring him around over here. All right, here he comes. We're gonna be quick about getting these fish to you in a hurry. I try to bring them in quick and I keep the line tight.
I
so
love
you
it.
don't have any issues with that. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. That's when you know you got a good fishing guide. When he says, oh, there's some roots over there. There's been fish around those roots. Boom, right on cue, they bite. That's a combination of knowing your water, knowing your fish, and then me being confident in my presentation. That makes all the difference in the world. How's that fish doing? Oh, that's a pretty one too. Another rainbow. That's 3 bows in a few minutes right here. Nice. That's a pretty fish. See you later, baby. There we go. Oh, I'm just gonna hold him right there because he wants to go downstream.
I'm gonna go with you.
Did I mention our buddy Bob's a pretty good guide? Oh, man. All right, now again, we like to be as easy as we can, so we bring fish in green if at all possible. That's one of the things that I think offsets big baits. Look at, he choked it. Look at that, perfect. That is perfect.
Oh, that's a brown.
That's a nice looking brown. Look at the colors on this fish. How about that for a pretty brown? Look at the colors on that thing in the sun. How nice is that? Big old hook on his jaw there on the top lip. Woo, baby, and we have caught a bunch of these today. We're gonna put this one back. See ya.
It's a good one.
Yeah, another rainbow, huh? That's funny that I got the rainbow trout. I don't know if they want to eat it or love up on it, because as we discussed, we're intercepting potentially rainbows that are starting to think about spawn.
You think they're trying to mate with your lure?
They could be trying to love up on it. It's hard to tell. So, you know, it's hard to tell why they bite, but for me, I don't care why a fish bites. I don't care if he wants to mate with it, or if he wants to eat it, or he wants to fight with it, or be territorial about it. None of that matters to me, only that he bit, and then we can get him unhooked gracefully like this, and you can go ahead and pop him right back in the water if you want, and then we'll get the lure out. Thanks, Bob. Yeah, you're a pretty good fishing guide.
Thank you.
That's funny, because this Scott guy, he didn't tell me that so much. We've had a blast floating with these guys today. I'll tell you what, we had lunch on the river, had a good time last night, even did a little fly tying last night. It was kind of humorous, but Scott's caught a ton of fish. I've caught my share of fish as well. We've caught them a variety of ways. It's hard to get any better than that. Bob's been a great guy. MinturnAnglers.com. If you're interested in coming and booking a trip with them, you can find all kinds of information there. Stop in their fly shop as well in Minturn, just outside of Vail, Colorado. What more could you ask for than a March day like this?
Another one?
Another one just like it. I appreciate you guys watching, and we're going to enjoy the rest of this outing. Hopefully you'll tune into Fishful Thinker, and we'll see you next week. There he is right there. Oh, dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it. Sorry, boss. Okay, let's try this again.
Chad, do you need a hug?
I need a hug, yeah. Oh. There's fish right there. Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. Who was it? Boom! Got him. Oh, I missed him. Okay, here you go. Here you go. Oh, not. Oh, he came off too. Those single hooks are killing me. Oh, no, Chad. Rookie, amateur, rookie. What are you doing? Got him. No, wait, no. Nope.